Brought to you by Penguin. By Your Side, written and read by me, Ruth Jones. In memory of my beloved father, Richard Norman Jones, the best dad ever. To live in hearts we leave behind is not to die. Thomas Campbell. 2024. Prologue. The landlord could set his watch by it. Just coming up to 2 p.m, and the pub door opened as it had done on this date every year for the past 6, letting in the old fella, coat buttoned up against the gusty gale outside and the dwindling Scottish light of a bleak winter's day. With a welcoming smile, the landlord nodded and took down a seldom-used tumbler from the shelf. He pushed its rim against the optic, once, twice, releasing the dark amber liquid of a single malt. "There you go," he said, placing it on the bar and waiting as the man took out some coins from his pocket and handed them over. "How you been keeping?" "Aye, not bad. You managing okay up there on your own? You need help with anything?" "I'm tip-top," he said, and raised his glass with a smile before taking it off to the chair by the fire. The bar was empty apart from a local electrician fixing some light fittings, and 2 Danish hikers sat at a table poring over a map. The landlord tried not to stare, but this enigmatic, once-a-year customer never failed to pique his interest. In all the time the man had lived here, he'd barely spoken a handful of words to anyone. He wasn't rude, just quiet and mild-mannered, and had a way of politely batting away chat. The landlord watched now as the man stared at the whiskey, swirling it round deep in thought. Then, muttering something under his breath, he surreptitiously raised his glass and drank. When he wiped away a stray tear, the landlord stopped looking. It felt like an intrusion, an invasion of the man's privacy. 15 minutes later, the customer drained his glass, got up and took it back to the bar. Buttoning his coat, he headed to the door and the squally weather outside. "Take care now," shouted the landlord. The man raised his hand in response, heaved open the door, and left the pub, never to return. Chapter 1. Linda. I'm late, which is so unlike me because I'm usually such a good timekeeper. I thrive on routine and schedule, so being late discombobulates me for the rest of the day. Stopping at the lights on Massey Street, I examine my reflection in the rear view. It's not that I'm vain, I'm just checking there's no jam on my cheek or toast in my teeth, remnants from this morning's breakfast, and not a good look for what lies ahead. My eyebrows could do with a trim. Going slightly feral. Oh, and lordy, that solitary chin bristle has returned, the bane of my face. I've tried zapping it, plucking it, even snipping at it with nail clippers, but it always returns. I've contemplated weed killer. That's how desperate I am. Attempting now to yank it out between finger and thumb, my facial inspection is disturbed by an unnecessarily long beep from the car behind. All right, I shout. One of my pet hates. Drivers who think that a microsecond shaved off at traffic lights will make the slightest difference to their journey. In less than 3 months, I'll be 55, so my list of pet hates is getting longer. I'm told they increase incrementally with age until full metamorphosis into grumpy old womanhood is complete. Well, that may be so for some, but not for me. Because I, Linda Mary Standish, will not be defeated by age. I'm divorced and single with a job that I love and a grumpy old woman I am not. Nor will I ever be. I intend to live out the rest of my life at full throttle, and woe betide anyone who gets in my way. Like the driver behind who's now overtaking. His window is open and he glares as he goes. So I blow him a kiss and shout, "Show us your knickers, you sexy beast!"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?